How's it going, y'all? Welcome back to Certified Beef. Obviously, I am not your normal host, Jack Strunick. Everybody besides myself is out of office today, so I will be taking you on a journey myself. Hopefully, you can hang around for a nice solid half an hour or so. If you're new, glad you found us. Hopefully you can stick around like I just said. So sincerely apologize for not being able to post an episode in a couple weeks. Obviously, if you heard our last episode, we had our trip that we went on 2 weeks ago, end of May into early June. And then last week, everybody was just kind of busy with work and everything else. But now this week, we're getting you another episode. Hope you gonna enjoy it. I am going to be giving my thoughts on the Colorado Rockies and Los Angeles Angels City Connect jerseys. I know everybody cares about my opinion on those. And also, I will be giving my thoughts on the current state of the Minnesota Twins and how I'm feeling about our chances to make it to the postseason and everything in between. So let us start with the Rockies City Connect jerseys. Overall, I think they are very solid City Connect jerseys. I would put them probably in the top 5 for sure. I like the concept that they're using the license plate that hasn't been done yet in the City Connect series. Let's start with the hat. Sometimes the two-tone, like 3-panel hat works. Sometimes it doesn't. I think this is one of the times where it does. You got the nice dark shade of green going to the white and then to the green brim. The logo on the hat looks very solid. I like that they took it, like they adapted the colors from the license plate and whatever else and made a very nice hat logo out of it. Got the CO, you got the mountains in there. I'm pretty sure those are also the Colorado State colors that they got going around the outside, so that's a nice touch. Moving on to the jerseys themselves, the full uniform, the jersey and the pants. Excuse me. I like the mount design. The mount design is cool. It kind of reminds me of, I believe it was Turn Back the Clock that MLB had in the 90s, I'm pretty sure. 90s, early 2000s, where it would just be these super abstract designs. Teams would wear sleeveless jerseys. Their colors would not match up most of the time with their normal colors. This kind of reminds me of that, where it's just big and bold. And I like that. My biggest gripe with it, or one of them, is that it's green. The mounts themselves are green. Now, I don't mind that, but then I wish that you would not have any purple in it, because the purple on the green, especially looking at the numbers are white outlined in purple, and they make their way down to the mountain. I don't think that works too well. I think it should have been just straight green and white, maybe throw in a little blue or orange. Probably blue, because looking at the breakdown picture with Charlie Blackmon in it, like the license plate has a blue number 3 on it, so maybe outline it that. Otherwise, go with black as the outline. I think that would make a world difference. Otherwise, I think you could have used the mountains as the design, like said, yes, it's based off of the license plate, but make it purple or black. I think that would made the jersey so much better, because like you look at Houston's, you look at the Dodgers, even the Angels, those all stuck within their normal color schemes. Like, you could have made these mountains black or purple, and they would stick with the color scheme, be based off the license plate still, and just look 10 times better, in my opinion. The font matches up very well with the license plate. Looks like they took the Colorado straight from the license plate, changed the color to white, and pasted it on the jersey. The numbers also match up. Green pants, I'm not too sure about that. I haven't had a chance to see these in action yet, but the part that throws me off also is that they have a white belt that goes with it. Like, if it was green straight down, it might look a lot better. But since you got the green mountains, and then it just abruptly stops and is interrupted by white, and then it goes back to green, I'm not sure about that choice. They also have purple on the sleeves and their normal CR logo, but it just looks odd. I think if you're gonna, like I said, choose a color, either choose green or make it purple or black. That's as simple as I can break it down. Still really like the jersey though. It's a very solid jersey for a team that's not very good. It seems like quite a few of the City Connects are going, maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like a few of the City Connects are going to awful teams. But oh well, I know in time the Twins will get theirs, and hopefully it'll be awesome. Minnesota jerseys usually rock. Just look at the Timberwolves City Edition. There's not one flop there. Yeah, so I would put this jersey top 5 of City Connects. I know the Marlins definitely have it beat out. Houston might be behind this. It's the only two I can really think of off the top of my head. But yeah, I would give it probably a solid, maybe some people don't consider this solid, but like a 7.5. It's above average, but it needs some tweaks, more than a few tweaks. Moving on, we are going to look at the Angels City Connect jerseys. They were leaked a couple weeks ago, like basically right after the Rockies were released. And from the outset, I like the look of these jerseys. We'll start with the hat and the logo. I think it's time for the Angels to get a rebrand. They've had those same jerseys since their 2002 World Series appearance. Even before that, like I think once the new millennium started, that's when they switched to their, maybe a few years after, that's when they switched to their current set of jerseys, the red with the blue and the gray. I think these, or at least this A, should be their new primary logo. Like, it's retro. It looks like, with the rest of the jersey, it looks like a laid back thing. Like, I know it's based off of surfing, and so like I think they got it perfect with this logo. Like, it goes so well. It's still within their color scheme for sure. Like, you got the red A outlined in an even deeper red. It's got some nice little, I don't know, I'll call it English, some nice markings on it, nice details. You got the silver/gray halo, which I still don't know why they don't use yellow in their sets, but they don't, and it is what it is. But going back to the jerseys, the hat, this is another two-tone, like 3-panel hat where it's mostly red. Then you got the, I guess, sand color front with the A. Then you got a red brim. amazing hat. I love those hats. They look very clean. Like this is one when I first saw it on Sunday Night Baseball, I believe. This is one that I'm like seriously consider purchasing. It looks that good. Moving on to the jerseys themselves. I like what they're doing with the armband, like the striping only on one arm. It gives me kind of basketball vibes where you have like some teams like the old like the recently defunct Charlotte Hornets jerseys where they had the stripe on just the one side of the jersey, and those worked. And I think this one works for the Angels too. It's a nice thick stripe. You got that little break in between the red with that sand color kind of intruding. The sand color looks good. I think that it was a smart decision to not go just pure white. And since they did the surfing theme, sand color makes perfect sense, obviously. Moving on to the word mark across the front. Looks great. I like how it looks old school. It kind of looks like it gives me Beach Boy vibes, like the band. The biggest thing, or one of the bigger things I do not like about this jersey, I will start with this one. I'll get to the biggest one I don't like, is the diamond that encompasses the front number on the lower left-hand side. I don't understand why it's there. Like, yeah, it might be cool to put some shape holding the number, but I feel like if you're gonna put a shape, maybe it should be a circle. Like looking at these right now on Jared Walsh and Mike Trout, I think a circle, like the outline of a circle, would be just perfect. Let's see. I like that they got a arm patch on the other side that does not have the striping. Just a simple, I'm pretty sure it may be their like official logo where it says like Los Angeles Angels Baseball Club or something like that. Looks good. Now getting to my biggest gripe with this jersey. Why are the numbers blue? Why are they navy blue? Don't get me wrong, this is a top 3 City Connect jersey still, but why are the numbers navy blue outlined in silver? Besides the Nike swoosh, there's no other blue on here. I don't get it. Like if you were going to make it blue, then maybe throw in some navy blue where the sand color is on the arm sleeve. Maybe give the Angels a navy blue outline. Like just those simple changes, even a like neck striping, that just a nice collar like they have on their current, like their normal set where it just wraps around the neck and goes down, has like a inch of space in between the actual end of the jersey and the piping itself. Just give it a nice blue stripe. Like there's no other blue, and that kind of frustrates me because I think if these numbers were just red, like this was just an all red jersey or like red detailing, it would be perfect. It would maybe surpass the Marlins as the best City Connect jersey. So those are the little things that kind of agitate me a little bit. I know that to most people, still, it's a very clean jersey, maybe their favorite jersey ever. I'm not on that boat quite yet. This might also be a jersey where it looks a lot better in person than it does in pictures. Like when I was watching that Sunday Night Baseball game or whatever it was with the Angels, they were wearing these and I was like, oh shoot, the navy blue numbers kind of work. But now, just most of the time, I'm gonna see them in still pictures or on like Sports Center. I think that they should have been red numbers. just would have looked so much better. Or add some blue. But then again, I also don't know why they keep having navy blue in their sets. Like, I get that it was a big color in their previous sets, like when they were the California Angels, even a couple, or before their most recent, their current set of jerseys, you had those with the dark navy blue with the lighter, like electric blue, as I like to call it, and then red. And there was hardly any red in any of the jerseys, and it was mostly blue. I think you gotta drop the blue and go with yellow. Because what color do most people think an Angel's halo is? You think of yellow, not gray or blue. So, still top 3 City Connect. These are probably an 8.5 for me. Maybe even creeping up to a 9. These are very, very good jerseys, and I like the inspiration they took. Unlike the Rockies, where they went with a literal, like, direct interpretation of the license plate. Like, when you choose something broad, like surfing, you can do whatever you want. They could have added a wave at the bottom of their jerseys for all I cared. Like, I think like I said, Angels need a rebrand. I think this would be a good place to start. If these became their everyday jerseys, I think I'd like them better than their current stuff. Like, if I saw these every day. All right. So now that we got the City Connect talk out of the way, we'll go to my thought on the Minnesota Twins. Currently, as I'm recording this on 6/15, the Twins have a 4-0 lead over the Seattle Mariners in their last game of the season against each other. Currently top the 8th, I believe. So let's see. The Minnesota Twins currently have a 2.5 game over the Cleveland Guardians, a 4.5 game over the White Sox, and nobody cares about the rest of the division because it sucks. We are 36-28, and over our last 10, obviously as I'm recording this, we are 5-5. How I feel about the past 4 series now, because the Mariners one is almost over. I am more happy than disappointed. I am happy because we took 2 or 3 out from Toronto, who was one of the, if not the hottest team in baseball when we went to play them in Toronto, without some of our key players like Max Kepler, most of whom didn't go because Canada has the strict restrictions still for COVID, and some of the players were not vaccinated. When I was listening to the radio earlier last week, the Vikings radio announcer Paul Allen, he has a radio show, and he was discussing the Twins with a writer from the Star Tribune, one of the biggest newspapers in Minnesota. And he was saying how we, quote, meatloafed our way to a series win over the Blue Jays, meaning that we kind of just threw patchwork players in there, replacement players, and somehow we took 2 of 3. Game 1, not close, in favor of the Twins. Game 2, not close, in favor of the Blue Jays. Jose Barrios for the Blue Jays pitched amazing. Had 13 or 14 strikeouts, I'm pretty sure. 13-4 or 13-2, one of those. Win for the Blue Jays. And then game 3, Twins won 8-6, I'm pretty sure. They had a sizable lead going into the ninth inning, and then Tyler Duffy does as Tyler Duffy does, I guess, and gives up a 3-run bomb to make it a 2-run game. Luckily, they get out of it. They take the W. The offense showed up for that series for 2 out of the 3 games, but when you score, see, like 18 runs total, that's, you got one. They should be more evenly dispersed, but we'll take the offense where we can get it. Pitching, or let's move on to the Yankee series. Twins lose the first one because I don't know. I'm not. Sometimes I'm an ump blamer, but I think this one there was too many close calls that went against the Twins. And then Rizzo hit the 3-run bomb in, I believe, the 7th or the 8th to seal it. Then Twins dominated game 2. Again, offense came alive. Then game 3, I know we lost. I don't remember exactly what happened in that. So I know some people were very happy with that result. I was kind of in the middle because I was thinking, yeah, we beat the Yankees 1 time out of 3. They're the best team in baseball. I have no problems with that. But then, yeah, you start to dive deeper, and our pitching was not great at all. We tagged all of their pitchers. We knocked out Jameson Taillon, Nestor Cortez, and Garrett Cole, I believe, all in or before the 5th inning, which all those guys are used to going at least 7 most of the time. Taillon the game before had carried a perfect game into the 8th inning before losing it against the Angels. Nestor Cortez is kind of that underdog candidate for Cy Young. Don't think he'll win it, but he's a fun guy to watch. And then Garrett Cole is obviously Garrett Cole, one of the best pitchers in baseball most of the time. And he gave up 3 home runs to the first 3 batters. Like, you just don't see that against Garrett Cole. So when you do that, you knock out 3 primo starting pitchers on or in or before the 5th inning, you should win those games. You just should. It should not be like trying to scrape by. Like, our bullpen has been a big issue now. And it's beginning of the year, we were very good. Or at least we were above average. Now as the year has progressed, it's been not great. I'll get back to that though. Now, the third series I'll be talking about is the Tampa Bay Rays. Twins take the first 2, I believe, in pretty handed fashion, and then lose game 3 6-0. Again, another good team that was playing well coming in, take 2 of 3. No complaints there. Could have won all 3, but it is what it is. If you take 2 out of 3 each time, that's a playoff team pretty much. So no complaints there. And then this game, or this series against the Mariners. See, game 1 we won. Here we go. Now I got the full stats pulled up. Game 1 we won 3-2. I know Buxton hit a 2-run home run in the first, and then I forgot who tacked on another. Game 2 yesterday, so 6-15 or 14. Mariners win 5-0, and then currently it is 4-0 Twins still, bottom of the 8th. So this series, the offense has kind of fell flat. Like so far, we're at 7 runs. Like with our offense, I expect at least 10 plus in a series. I think that should not be too much to ask. That's averaging 3.3 like a game. Spread that out a little bit. You'll have your on days, you'll have your off days. I just think that is a completely reasonable expectation. I think I'm happy that we're going to take another 2 out of 3. Like, obviously, Mariners not playing the best right now. Could have swept them, but yesterday was just not our day. Joe Ryan just came back from the COVID list after not pitching for about 3 weeks. So he is he looked sharp, but he also showed some signs of being away for a little bit. Like the 2 home runs he gave up, the two-run shots, kind of sealed the deal after you saw that. I think we only had 4 hits total last night. It's not good for our lineup. But yeah, I think the overall trend of this is the starting pitcher get us through 4 or 5, bullpen try and patchwork it to the end and hope that the offense can be consistent throughout the game and score around 4 to 5 runs. When I look back at all the recent scores, most of the Twins wins have come when they've scored at least 5 plus. Except for 2 nights ago and possibly today, it has been 5 plus is the magic number. Most of the time, we scored 5 plus against the Yankees. We scored 7 against the Yankees and still lost that game. But our biggest problem, I think, is our pitching. Like, yeah, the offense is inconsistent. Like, we'll obviously have our good days. Like when we beat the Yankees 8-1. And then we'll have our bad days where we get shut out by the Rays and the Mariners in 2 out of 3 days. That's not good, but I think the pitching is the biggest problem. I think with this new era of baseball, it seems that the managers do not besides maybe Aaron Boone, it seems like the managers do not like letting their pitchers go deep in the ball games. Our manager is Rocco Baldelli. I like the guy. But I know today Sonny Gray came back from a right arm injury, I'm pretty sure. And he threw 64 pitches or somewhere in that ballpark over 5 innings. And they didn't let him pitch the 6. Now I understand that. That's one I'm more okay with because yeah, he's just coming back. You want him to get his workload in and then not get him injured. But then you'll have guys like, let's say Bailey Ober, when he was healthy, which I think he's gonna be back soon. I'm not positive, but Bailey Ober, let's say he'll have like 70 pitches over 6 innings, and they'll yank him. Like with under 3 or less runs given up, and they'll yank them. And that's just what frustrates me because our bullpen, even though it was great in the beginning of the year, it is awful now. Besides Joan Duran, it's not good. Like Tyler Duffy has just been atrocious this year. He's not his normal self. We got guys like Yennier Cano and Taylor McGill pitching for us. Like, I think if we're gonna make some serious noise in the playoffs, we need to trade for a workhorse starting pitcher. I think Frankie Montas or Luis Castillo can fit that bill. And then we need to find someone that's gonna step it up in the bullpen. Because I just don't trust Griffin Jacks to go out there and give us two. Like, he's one of the guys that they let pitch 2 innings. I'm not sure if I trust him to do that every time. Like, yeah, he's solid, but he's also pretty just average. Like, it seems like besides Duran and sometimes Chris Archer, I guess, nobody seems to throw over 95. It hardly ever happens. Like, Dylan Bundy, I don't know what his deal is, but he was good for his first 3 starts, and now he can't do anything else. Like, I was having some hope. Like, hopefully, last year with the Angels, he was awful, god awful, and hoping that his worst was behind him. Seems like it's just kind of continuing after those 3 great starts. Just pitching, it seems to have been the theme for the Twins over the past few years is, we're one great starter, even good starter away from being a postseason contender. We're 2 relievers away, yada, yada, yada. And it's honestly true, but we just don't seem to ever get it. Like, one of our, besides Duran, like, he's been the MVP of the bullpen so far this year. He's honestly a Rookie of the Year candidate. I think I don't know, even the next best person, I don't even know half our bullpen, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it. Who do we got? Emilio Pagan, he's been shaky at best. Like, he's been good, but he's also had his times where it's just been awful. Joe Smith has been a solid, like, quiet pickup. Yeah, he's had his rough spots recently, but before he was throwing gems of innings. Caleb Thielbar is I guess he's our lefty specialist, which that seems weird to say, but he is. One guy I'd like to highlight who has been such a good pitcher for the three or 4 start, maybe 5 starts he's had, is Devin Smeltzer. This man, you were like, most of the time you're lucky if you get 5 or 6 innings out of him with less than like 3 allowed. Like 3 or 4 allowed, 3 to like 5 would probably be the average for him allowed. He is pitching great this year. Apparently it's because his wife told him to use a changeup more often, and that's getting more swings and misses or weak contact, whatever the case is. He is pitching great. So hopefully, knock on wood, that will continue, and he can help solidify a rotation that has gone down with injury after injury and inconsistency everywhere. It's unfortunate that it seems we don't have Kenta Maeda for the year. It's unfortunate that it seems that Taylor Rogers is going to be an all-star again in San Diego. I know he's blown a couple of saves recently. We were at the Brewers game when he blew the save against them, and they ended up walking off with a McCutcheon single. But so far, this Chris Paddock, Emilio Pagan for Taylor Rogers, and let's see, I forgot his name. Whatever other guy got traded to San Diego. It looks like it's definitely going to be a winner for the Padres. Chris Paddock out for the year with Tommy John. Emilio Pagan, like I said, has been up and down. He's cut back on the walks significantly recently, but he'll go on those streaks where he just cannot do anything. I we we also, this has been a club that's been hurt with injuries. Like obviously you've had Buxton go out for a little bit. Miguel Sano is on the 60-day IL, which I don't think anybody really cares about that one too much, but oh well. Another solid or mostly solid reliever, Jorge Alcala, is on the 60-day. Like you've had guys like Sonny Gray is just making his return because he was out. Joe Ryan was out. Carlos Correa was out. But I think probably one of the biggest losses this year for the Twins is Royce Lewis. The rookie came up guns a-blazing, was hitting great, got sent down for a little bit because I think Correa came back. And he got injured again. So Royce Lewis came up. Buxton was out for a little bit, so he came back up too. And they put him in center field. And the first game in center field, ball hit to him, jumps into the wall, tears his other ACL, or the same ACL that he had surgery or recovered from 3 years ago. So now they're expecting him to be back in 2023 at some point. It's just unfortunate because this guy looked like everything was going his way now. His days in the minors were behind him. He was hitting good. He was fielding great. All those things. And just unfortunate break for him. This team is also kind of, you got your role players, but you also got, your studs, your Buxtons, your Correas, even your Keplers and Ariases, whatever. But then you got the young guys that are starting to step up, like Nick Gordon. When he does play, he's usually pretty solid. Like he can be a little erratic in the field, but he gives you a nice speedy option off the bench if he does not start. Otherwise, he can play left, right, center, short, second. Probably even stick him at third at some point this season. You got Jose Miranda, who's coming up. He had an awful first introduction into the big leagues after he got sent back down for a day less than. And talked with Carlos Correa. He has been popping off. Like he's cooled down a little bit, but that's expected for a rookie pitcher, or not pitcher, a rookie hitter. But he's been a solid fill-in at third and first base. Nice middle of the order guy. He'll get it going, or keep it going, hopefully. And then also another guy that probably most Twins don't even know his name is Gilberto Celestino. He's putting it all together right now. He is an center fielder, plays all outfield positions, but he's an inside-out hitter. So he usually pushes the ball to the right side, and now teams have figured it out. So they're starting to pitch him on the inside of the plate, and he'll pull the ball. He's starting to pull the ball now too. He's got some good speed. He makes those outfield plays. He's doing very good, a lot better than last year. And then last guy I'd like to highlight is, I know I've highlighted a lot of guys, talked about a lot of them, but is Trevor Larnach. With Alex Kirilloff going to AAA, being injured, all that stuff, and not having a great season, Trevor Larnach has really stepped it up. He's hitting, I believe, he's a left-handed hitter, right-handed thrower, I believe, plays left field, left and right. I think he's close to the league lead for outfield assists and defensive runs saved, possibly. Don't quote me on that. I believe he is hitting over 300 against lefties. Not doing as hot against righties, but he is becoming a solid all-around player. Like, yeah, you're probably not going to get stolen. He's not a 5-tool player by any means, but he's probably down the road. He's probably going to be good for at least 25 homers a year. I would think 20 to 25. Like, he'll have the solid offensive or defensive plays, the sliding catches, the strong throws. Teams have learned not to run on him anymore. So if this guy sticks around, like, he's going to be that solid everyday role player type of guy that every team needs. Now, thinking about this team going into we're about a month away from the All-Star break. It's currently sitting, what did I say? 36-28. Probably going to be 37-28 after this game. I hope that we win the division. I think we can, because I don't know if Cleveland's is sustainable. I haven't watched too much Guardians baseball, but like, their team is more patchwork than ours. It seems like it's just a bunch of role players stepping up. But the Twins, we need to figure out a way to keep our people healthy. Like, our stars, Correa and Buxton, sit so much. Like, they sit at least once a series. Sometimes they even sit on the same day, like they did the other night. I'm not sure. I think you gotta space it out so that you don't have them both on the bench at the same time, but whatever. I'm not the manager. That's just the way I would do it. I don't want to have this team be a meatloaf when it goes into playoffs, where you got just, like, we had Chichi Gonzalez pitching for us a little bit. Like, I don't want to have a Chichi Gonzalez type be our starter for the playoffs if we get to that point. That would be devastating, because as everybody or most people know, the Twins have lost 18 straight games in the playoffs. I think 13 have been to the Yankees, if I remember correctly from the stat tonight. And this could be the year that we win a game. I don't know. I'm not entirely hopeful, because I feel like, being a Minnesotan, it's gonna happen where they don't win a game. We're gonna be all excited that we made the playoffs, and it's gonna not mean anything. We just can't be a meatloaf of a team when it comes to the late of the year, to crunch time. Like, I want our star players out there, even if they're slightly injured. I want our star players out there. I want Buxton, Kepler, and Larnach playing the outfield. Arias, Polanco, Correa, and Gio Urshela round the horn there. Sonny Gray or Joe Ryan on the bump to start game one versus whoever we face. And then probably, honestly, our catchers suck. We should probably get a new one by the trade deadline, because it seems like Gary may be having a slight resurgence since coming here, but our team is awful at preventing stolen bases. Even Ryan Jeffers, who is a defensive catcher, hitting under the Mendoza line, still he cannot toss a guy. Now, maybe that's on the pitchers and not them, but it just seems like it's a combination of both, and they can't do anything. They've only thrown out 4 runners so far this year out of like 39 attempts. That's pretty awful. I think our things to look for at the trade deadline are pitching, bullpen, and starters, and then a catcher. Possibly also maybe a shortstop. Like, I know we got Nick Gordon, but he seems to patrol the outfield a lot more than he does the infield, even though second base, I believe, is his natural position, that or short. So I think, because Correa seems to be injury prone recently, I think if you get a solid utility guy type like Gio Urshela, but whose primary is like the middle infield, I think we'd be set. I think the bullpen or starters is the biggest problem right now. Give the pitchers a longer leash. I know you're trying to protect them, but please, they're a major league pitcher. This is the best like sports medicine, like training wise, there's ever been in the history of the world is 2022. And people are still scared to let their pitchers throw over like 80 pitches. It's kind of crazy to me, but yeah. What do I think the final record for the Twins will be? Let's see, we're 38. That'll be 37-28. Knock on wood, because it's bottom of the ninth. 5-0 Twins. We're on pace to win 91. I do not think that will happen. I'm going to give them, I think the Twins, they're not usually good against their division, but I still think they'll win it. Like I said, I think the White Sox are going to fire Tony La Russa soon. He seems like he's just having an awful managerial year. That Trey Turner intentional walk before the 3-run Max Muncy bomb makes 0 sense. 1-2 count with 2 outs. Don't understand it, but hey, he's also a World Series winning manager. I think the Twins will probably, my prediction right now is 88-74. So that'll be 14 games above 500. And that'll definitely be the third spot in the playoffs. So we'll have to play the 4 seed, whoever that is, probably coming from the AL East. And then probably get eliminated first round. That's just my expectations at this point. But I would be interested to hear what you guys think. Obviously, DMs on Instagram are always open. Certified Beef PC posted a picture from our trip on there, so please go get that like. Write a comment if you want. I don't care. Otherwise, you can email us at certifiedbeefpc@gmail.com. That is, again, certifiedbeefpc@gmail.com. I run that so I could respond to you if you have a good inquiry about the show or just a comment, feedback. We'll take whatever. We enjoy doing this, and we'd like to grow. Honestly, I've been listening to too much radio with my dad on the way to work or whatnot, but it seems like if I can make this a full-time career, like heading into a radio station or whatnot every day, 5 days a week, that would be amazing. Just talking sports, talking whatever with some of your best friends in the world, playing games. Seems like a real solid career. I'm kind of getting off on a tangent right now. Also, Patreon, always out there. Certified Beef PC at Patreon. I don't think it's at Patreon. It's on Patreon. You know what I'm saying. Just trying to reduce the cost of this. All of us are now college students, so money isn't always the most abundant. Even if you don't donate, we still love all our beef buddies out there. I think if you have a name, if you have an idea for what we should call you guys, that would be much appreciated. The recommendation or suggestion, I think right now it's going to be beef buddies. But yeah, thank you all for listening. Hopefully you stuck through it with us. You forgive us for not posting an episode recently. We got some good things coming up. Hopefully we can get lots of people for a fun game day-ish thing coming like late June, early July. I am moving soon, so might be another week off in late June because we'll be staying with my grandparents while our new house is getting finished up. Closing dates didn't quite match up, but it's whatever. Love doing the pod, so I'll probably try and find a way to do it anyways. But love you guys. Hope you have a good day, good week, and we'll see you on the next one.